the lady that was walking him through the parade, he drug her down the street, come around me, and got up underneath Abby and pushed her back until she came to.
Dog people, welcome back to Rescued by a Dog, the podcast about dogs that have actually saved their owners' lives. I am Laura, as always, host of the podcast. And if you love the podcast, I need to plead for your help. Can you give just $5 to help keep Rescued by a Dog going? There are two easy ways to do this. First, you could just Venmo me $5 or whatever amount you want to send at the handle LauraBama. That's Laura, B as in boy, A-M as in mother, A. Or you could go to patreon.com/Rescued by a Dog podcast. Again, that's Patreon, spelled Patreon. So patreon.com/Rescued by a Dog podcast. When you join the Rescued by a Dog community on Patreon, your $5 per month will help me continue sharing these beautiful, uplifting stories. Now we're going to hear from Abby, who was watching dogs from the Kanawha-Charleston Humane Association march in a Christmas parade when one of the shelter pups dragged his handler over to her just before she had a medical emergency. Hi.
Hi.
Is that Abby over there?
Yeah, she's putting her hoodie on.
Hi, Abby. Hi, Melissa. I'm so grateful that y'all are talking to me today. Thank you. Is that Picasso?
Yeah, that's Picasso. I'm new to all this. So.
What a gorgeous pup. Can one of y'all describe him?
Well, he is a Plott Hound mix with brindle collar. He is approximately about 45 pounds, and he thinks he's a lap dog.
Yeah, he is currently just snuggling in Abby's lap like a baby. She's holding him like a baby with his belly exposed. It's really cute. Oh my gosh, he is a little lap dog. How did you find him?
We were at the Christmas parade.
He was a shelter dog, and the shelter dogs got to march in the Christmas parade. And she came home from school that day and decided, hey, Mom, can we go to the Christmas parade? And her twin sister and I kind of looked at each other like, you want to go to a parade?
I have POTS.
Posterior orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. It's related to the reducing of blood volume. It occurs when you stand up. Of course, Abby she could be sitting and fall forward. Her heart rate, she has what they call an athlete's heart. So her heart rate actually never goes up. And normally with POTS, your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up and all that. But she can run with Picasso outside and her heart rate never goes above 50. And, that has them worried. But her POTS syndrome is affecting her mitral valve. And, somewhere down the line, that's going to require some attention. But she feels lightheadedness. She faints often. Brain fog. I mean, she can get so confused so easy. Headaches, blurry vision. Sometimes it'll make her nauseous. It just depending on what's going on that day. Abby decided that she wanted to go to the parade. So her twin sister and I kind of looked at each other. It's like, you really want to go out in public? And she's like, yeah, come on, let's go. And we'll go get some dinner and go to the parade. So we did went to dinner, looked around the mall a little bit, went to sat on Santa's lap, went outside to watch the parade. So when the shelter dogs come walking, I turn around to look at Abby and her eyes were closed and she was falling forward onto the pavement. We were sitting on the curb, of course, but she was falling forward and I had my arms full of our leftover dinner and some items that they bought and our photos with Santa. And I seen out of the corner of my eye this dog coming at us. So I've got my hands full and I'm recording the parade and this dog was coming at us. So I thought, oh my God, this dog's going to bite us. I initially threw up my foot thinking he was coming at us, but he come around me, drug the handler, the lady that was walking him through the parade. He drug her down the street, come around me and got up underneath Abby and pushed her back until she came to. I guess with, his cold nose on her, she kind of started coming around and she started petting him.
Yeah, it calmed me down from an anxiety attack that was also going on.
After the handler finally got him to get away from her, and they, I was like, what's the dog's name? And they're like, Picasso, come see him at the shelter. And they kind of just went on their way. Well, we sat there for a few minutes, and my older daughter, Ariel, decided, Mom, Abby's not looking very good, so let me take her in the mall. Gabby, which is Abby's twin, we sat there for a little bit, and we decided, okay, let's take Abby home. And we got through halfway through the mall, and she collapsed again. So we got her in the car, got her home. And when she has a really bad POTS episode, her muscles are weak the next day. So we have a chronic health form that she doesn't have to go to school the next day. And I had to pick up some gifts at a nearby flea market. And when you pass to go to the flea market, we just happened to pass the animal shelter. So I told her, I was like, that's where that dog is at. And she's like, can we go see him? And I'm like, of course. With COVID going on, you couldn't go in. So we're standing on the parking lot, and some guy's like, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, we're here to see a dog that we saw at the Christmas parade. And they said, which animal? I said, we're looking for Picasso. He helped my daughter last night. And that was all it took. The guy's like, hey guys, it's the little girl from the parade last night. It's the little girl from the parade. And before I knew it, all these people were coming out. They were taking photos. They brought the dog out. And when he seen Abigail, he remembered her. I mean, he came straight for her. She was standing up, and he stood up on his hind legs and put his arms around her neck and put his head on the shoulder. We have photos. His head is on her shoulder, like he was hugging her or embracing her in a hug.
So what do y'all know about Picasso's life before he found you?
A month before.
About a month before that we got him, he was found on the streets in Charleston, and someone spotted him, and they took care of him, tried to find his owner, but they couldn't. So he was taken into the shelter, and of course they took care of him. And a month later, he was marching. His good behavior won him a spot marching in the parade.
He had a clean kennel.
Yeah, he always cleans. He's always very clean. He loves to be clean.
Yeah, and he was always good with other dogs and other pets. He loved my hamster. My hamster passed away, but he absolutely loved him. But the hamster did not love him.
He loves to give us hugs. Our mailman's his best friend. The mailman, he waits to see him. And Picasso will hear the mail truck, and he'll want to go outside, and the mailman brings him treats every day.
Has he helped you again?
All the time. He'll push me back and keep me there until I feel better. He also helps my family when they're not feeling good.
What does he do for the family?
My mom one time had like a very serious seizure, I think it was. And they said that she couldn't go to sleep without having something to take her heart rate on. And without knowing, when she was taking a nap, because she wasn't feeling good, her heart rate was really, really bad. And her oxygen level was not very good. And Picasso jumped on her.
I had just gotten home from the hospital, and I was very tired. And I said, well, I'm going to lay right here. And I have the pulse ox monitor on my finger, and it took my blood, heart rate and my oxygen level all the time. And when I come around, I could hear Jared going, Mom, Mom, Mom. And I was, like I said, I was laying back on the corner of the couch, and Picasso was standing on the couch beside me with his front paws on my chest, like kind of like jumping, almost doing chest compressions. And when I come to and I was looking around, my heart rate was like really low, and my oxygen was like 58%. Jared was trying to wake me up, and he couldn't. But Picasso was doing chest compressions. He alerted Jared that something was wrong. At first, I was like, to get off me, dog. And then Jared's going, no. Jared said, Mom, no, he was seriously doing. It looked like he was doing CPR. And that's when I noticed, I checked the meter on my finger, and I was looking at everything, and I called the doctor, told him what was going on, and I had to go back in for some more tests. But a couple of weeks ago, well, it's been about a month now. For some reason, he would always come to my bedroom door and knock. And he generally don't do that. He likes staying with my son or with Abby. But he would come to my door and he would whine and he would knock. And I'm like, what do you want? What do you want? Well, then, and I noticed about a week after that, I was getting ill. You know, my throat started hurting. Eventually I realized that I come down with COVID. But he sensed it and he wanted to stay at my door. He'd lay in the floor at my door. He would not leave my door. So I quarantined, but Picasso never left my door. I mean, when my husband would come to check on me, he had to step over the dog because the dog would not move.
He'll like lay down on me and just lay down with me. Sometimes he does a silly thing where he gets on his back and he can't get up like he's a turtle.
What do y'all think your life would be like if you had never met him?
I'll be a lot more anxious.
Abby's learning to, before Picasso, she did not go outside much at all. I mean, school was a problem. Every day was a struggle to get her to go to school. And they actually, when she started the high school, they actually didn't want her at school because she was a liability with passing out and everything like that. Of course, you know, we got all that situation. She was on homeschool for a while, where the teachers met us. But you can't get all your credits that way. So she had to go back to public school. But it was worse. I mean, now she will go out and she'll take him for a walk. She'll take him to the park. And so with Picasso, she's learned to go outside more.
What can you do now that you couldn't do before you had him?
I feel a lot more protected when I go outside. I used to be terrified to go out by myself, and I also can I know I can walk around a lot more because he'll be there to help me if something happens. He'll go get my mom, which he has.
Yeah. If they're not responsive, like if Abby doesn't come around quick enough, he'll come and alert me, and then I'll know to go through the house and look to see where she's at.
This isn't about you.
The cat's meowing, and Gabby said, "This is not about you, Mabel. Go on." When the newspaper called us to do an interview, I honestly said it was a God wink. He was meant for us. I mean, because the odds of Abby wanting to go to a Christmas parade, the odds of Picasso, you know, being rescued and taken to the shelter and walking in the parade, it was divine.
He needed us to.
The people, whoever had him before, cut his tail off. So he has a little nub. His ear has been cut, and then one of the pad things on one of his paws has been cut.
Yeah, he needed us too because of what had happened to him, and we didn't know how long he was in the shelter for, and he needed a home and we needed him. He's so gentle.
You can do whatever you want. He would never bite. He loves everybody. I mean, everybody loves this dog. He's on his back in her lap snoring.
If Picasso could speak human English, what would you like to say to him?
I'd probably just tell him thank you, because not only did we rescue him from the shelter, but he kind of saved us. I mean, literally saved us. He's laying back on Abby's lap with his legs up in the air again.
Abby, what would you like to say to him?
That I love him. And I feel safe with him.